Hi there, everybody. It's Sarah from Socially Shared, and I'm here today with the lovely Sharon from the Luca Foundation. Hi there, Sharon.
Hi, Sarah.
So I know, having known you a little while, that you have the most heartfelt, heartwarming story, turning tragedy into something really quite special. So perhaps you would tell us all about that, please.
Yeah, certainly. So the Luca Foundation is in memory of my first child, my first son, who was stillborn in June 2012. He was full term. It was the first day of my maternity leave. And I thought I was just nesting and getting ready for the arrival. And just that day was very, very surreal, really. We were getting the nursery ready. I was having blackout blinds put into the nursery, so I had workmen in. And it was just like any other day. He'd kicked in the morning, a really hard kick, a few times during the day. And then by the evening, when he was always the most active, I just wasn't feeling anything. And my husband was saying it's very unusual. He's really quiet today. And he always, it was the Euros 2012 one as well. So I'm a very football family.
Yeah.
And he always kicked during the football. And we always used to joke that he was going to be a footballer. And suddenly there was nothing. And we obviously went to the hospital, called the hospital. They said, come in. And we then sadly found that his heart had stopped. And since then, we've gone on to have another son, which was lovely a year later, but always living with the grief of losing Luca, obviously, as any parent can imagine or doesn't want to ever imagine losing their child. It lives with you forever, and it's one of those things you can never get over, but you learn to live with. But on his 6th birthday, which was June last year, which was June 2018, I had a breakdown, overwhelming feelings like it just freshly happened again. It was the first year that I was actually by myself. So my son had now started school, my youngest son, my husband was at work, and I was at home all by myself for the first time on his anniversary, and completely broke me. But after that, my best friend actually called it my breakthrough, because from there I realised that I wanted to start the Luca Foundation in his memory, as I had promised him that his name and memory would always live on. And we started the Luca Foundation from there, and to help bereaved parents, to give equipment to hospitals that wasn't available for us in form of a cuddle cot. And what a cuddle cot is refrigerated equipment that helps preserve the baby's body so they don't deteriorate as fast as they would ordinarily, with them being so small. And it gives the gift of time to a bereaved family to have longer with their little angel. And the first cot that we actually donated to John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, the very next day a family used it for 1 week, and they were able to have 1 week with their baby to say their goodbyes. And we had mere hours with Luca, which will always stay with me, because I was constantly saying, no, you can't take him yet, no, you can't take him yet. And that will always live with me, the moment that I had to let him go and never to see him again, with only having had a few hours with him.
I can't even begin to imagine. Really, I'm very thankful for that, but we do have family members who have gone through something very similar, and it's that thing that you say about only having a matter of hours is, unless you're in that situation, you wouldn't even give that a consideration, would you? And
No.
and yet it's something that it's huge. And and I think, for you to be able to turn your experience into something, to give that gift, particularly that first family and all the other families that you've helped since, is really amazing, isn't it? It just
Thank you.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, very much, something we didn't have. Why should others not have that? Because we didn't have it. It's very much giving somebody something that I desperately needed and wanted. To give it to somebody else means quite a lot. It's very bittersweet, really.
Of course.
Something that wasn't available for us, but we can make available for others.
And it's such an emotional topic, story, all of those things. But if we can shift it just to a little bit of practicality for a moment.
Yes.
In terms of setting up a foundation, I mean, did you know about how to do that, or was it easy, or what's the process of going through all of that?
Yeah, it was really overwhelming, actually. I really didn't know where to start. And luckily I had affiliation with Baby Lifeline, who's a local charity, huge in their sector as a baby charity. And Judy was really kind to take me under her wings for sort of 9 months, and let me fundraise under their establishment, and we did phenomenally. In the first 9 months, we'd raised over £8,500 through people doing different things. My brothers, for example, did skydives. We had a friend who is a mum from the school who did charity half a marathon, and in Coventry, and various other things from people as well. So we got bigger than we actually realised, sooner than we ever would. So that's gone on now for us to be our own charity. So we don't work under the umbrella of Baby Lifeline anymore. But we do support some of their work. So recently we over the last few months have funded training for midwives that is delivered by Baby Lifeline, but funding came from the Luca Foundation for it. So maternity units don't have funding for training, but this training means a lot to me because it is about the signs of saving a baby. So it's called Saving Babies' Lives, and it's about how to spot those risks that a baby is likely to die if certain measurements are not put in place. And I was happy to be able to fund 43 places for that. So imagine 15 babies die every day. 80% of those are preventable, and if each one of those 43 midwives now goes on to save a baby each, that's 43 lives saved. And that means a lot to me, because I know Luca should have been here now. And if we can bring those numbers down, then that is a phenomenal achievement for the foundation.
Oh, absolutely. That's a real shocking number, actually, isn't it? I mean, I know only because I know you, but previous to that, I wouldn't have known those numbers. And that's quite a shock. So what phenomenal work, even in your early couple of years. It's absolutely incredible. How much support is out there for when parents experience what you went through, and is the support short term, or because I know you offer things much longer term, don't you?
Yes, it is quite short term, the care that is out there. There are more and more charities available for bereavement support, which is a little bit different to what the Luca Foundation is doing. So we want to make sure that imminent support is there in terms of in a way of a cuddle cot. That in the first few days is the most important support that we can give, is the family to have that time with their baby. And then thereafter that, we are working with other organisations to make sure that there is mental health support as well for families long term. And there are things that we're putting in place for families to be able to have the conversation with children as well about what's happened to their sibling, or whether that family wants to, like we have with our younger child, is to ensure that he knows he had an older brother, and for him, he sees that his older brother lives in the sky.
Yeah.
When there's a clear night and the stars are out, he can look up and say, "Hi, Luca," to the stars. So we were putting those kind of things in place for those conversations to happen in families, so that they don't have to live with the whole taboo that is at the moment.
Yes.
You can't talk about stillbirth, or you can't talk about baby loss. I want to break that silence and break that taboo, and put things in place to allow families to be able to do that. Yeah, there is actually, unbeknown to me at the time, when I set it up last year, was there are supports in place, so you can go to your local council and actually ask for them to put you in touch with. It's almost council funded charities in a way.
Okay.
There are establishments that are there to help you with paperwork, to help you get funding for a certain project. So at the moment we're looking at a little project that I want to do within the Luca Foundation that is solely for the foundation. It's a book to help children understand bereavement, and the wheels are in motion already for it, and everything's in place. It's just a case of almost now designing the book, doing the illustration, and getting it out there. And they've been a huge support in that way, and they do help people set up, whether you want to be a registered charity or you just want to be a small local charity. They are there to be able to do that, and your council can put you in touch with them. It was actually through Socially Shared that someone put me in touch with them. Next year we're looking at doing a variety of things, so and it probably will be something we will continue with the years to come as well. So we do coffee mornings at a local cafe near me who supports the charity. We also are looking at bringing dads to get involved and start doing golf days, maybe a football tournament as well. So get dads together, not that they necessarily have to talk about their bereavement, but it's just a place for them to come together and fundraise for that cause, and to help other families. So we're looking at golf days, football tournaments to get dads involved, and then also couples, or how people might want to just do go out for a dinner. So we'll maybe be looking at putting up some sort of charity balls in the future as well. It's in a way of recognising the people that have fundraised for us, as well as putting on something for families to come and support the charity. I was a finalist in the Midlands Business and Community Charity Awards for Inspirational Person of the Year, and that is a huge accolade for somebody like me who's only been running the charity for a year. I lost my career as a project manager because I have an illness called fibromyalgia, which is chronic pain and fatigue. So part of why I was off for Luca's 6th anniversary was because of this illness, and a lot of emotions came out because I'd lost my career as project manager. I was literally sat at home doing nothing, so that contributed to the breakdown, or breakthrough as I like to rename it now, my friend, and that to be, I don't know who nominated me for the award, it was kept anonymous, but to be recognised that somebody with a chronic illness can run a charity. So the future for the charity is looking good. We've got a team of people on board now. We've got trustees, we've got ambassadors, and there you can see who they are on our website.
Congratulations on your nomination, because I mean you really are an inspiring person from start to end. So yes, well, thank you so much for sharing your story and how it's evolved, and as I say, anyone wanting to contact you or support the charity can do so from the information popping up. So thank you so much, Sharon. It's been lovely to chat with you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.